2 years ago, a vitamin electrolyte brand approached us because they needed help scaling on Amazon. They were doing around $2,900 a month, and we scaled them to over $129,000 per month 17 months later. My name is Jasim Eisa. I'm the CEO and founder of Voadera, an Amazon e-commerce marketplace company. And in this video, I'm going to share the 5 steps we took to scale this brand. The first one is making sure that the listing is retail ready. This is just hitting the basics. It's making sure that the listing has the full 6 stack of images, it has the video to go along with it to improve conversion rate, the bullet points are filled out, the premium A+ content is in there, the brand story is ready, improving the brand store, making sure that the title is right, all that kind of stuff is just making sure that you're filling out the listing, you're making sure it's organized, you're making sure the catalog looks healthy, you have the right tiered variation, it's not all over the place, you don't have one listing here, one listing there. It's very easy to read, very easy to navigate. It basically looks clean. It checks out all the boxes because without that, everything else is relevant. Now that the listing is retail ready, this is where we go into listing optimization. This includes 2 parts. There's creative optimization and there's SEO optimization. So the first one is creative optimization. The very most important leverage factor is the main image. That's what's going to drive the click-through rate. It's going to make the ads effective, right? We didn't get to ads yet. I'll get into that later. But before we get into all that, we have to make sure that obviously the listing is optimized so we can have a healthy conversion rate and healthy customer journey. So we're doing that. We're A/B testing. There's tools within Amazon Manager Experiments. We were going there. We uploaded 2-3 tests. Even before we went there, we went to external tools like PickFu, IntelliView, Product Opinion, all those tools basically to test those images, what resonated with our customer data. We obviously interviewed the brand, made sure we understood what their customer audience was, who they thought it was, who we saw it was based on the brand analytics, and we continuously iterated the main images, the subsequent other images, the lifestyle, infographics, all that kind of stuff. And then the video, we made sure it was taken with the customer avatar that they thought that would resonate with them. And then we looked at the bullet points, although less important, we still made sure they were filled out, right? The premium A+ content. And then the other big thing that we tested, I said the main image. The other one we went to SEO was the title. UVP for this was something to do with organic, other stuff to do with ingredients and didn't include, we don't want to mention the specifics for this specific product, but everyone else in this category had a certain ingredient. Let's just say this ingredient is salt, right? I'm using a random example. It's not the case, but I just don't want to reveal obviously the secret sauce per se for this specific category. We wrote, for example, electrolyte, no salt within the first 60 characters because people scrolling on the phone, that's what they're going to see. So we made sure we put the UVP in the beginning, and that's what helped drive and improve the click-through rate. And then we reiterated on that in the secondary images as well because we wanted to make sure that that's going to differentiate us. That was a unique value proposition. We continuously hammered that home, why us, etc., etc. So that's where we're driving creative optimization, continuously testing all the images, continuously testing the title to see what drives and retains and converts the most customers, obviously. The third thing that we did really well was product development. And this is where we partnered with the brand. Our compliance team was reading through the reviews religiously and seeing the small tweaks of the flavor that we can do to further improve customer retention. This is where, for example, the entire category was at a 4.1 star rating and ours was at a 4.3 star rating. And this is huge because the 4.1 stars, it's obviously going to show us 4 stars, and the 4.3 is going to show 4.5 stars, like literally the stars and ratings. And I made a video on this. I'll put in the description or even attached to the end. So we continuously made sure that the ratings was good, the customers were happy. Obviously, this improved conversion rate, improved organic ranking, and we also did tests with real life customers. But mainly even after is looking at the reviews, seeing what the customers are saying, seeing where the customer journey usually ends, is it at something specifically, and iterating based on that. And within the product development, we also launched lots of flavors. We just threw a lot of flavors out there. A lot of them sucked. We liquidated those. We had to get them out. But the winners we doubled down on because we increased the overall market share. Whereas we made sure the customer that came, they liked our product, they also found the flavor they wanted. They didn't go to a different competitor that did have it, and they might like that flavor but not like the competitor's product, but still go with the competitor because they like that flavor a lot. So I want to make sure all the customers we had all the flavors that they liked, and that's where we invested in those flavors and made sure we did a lot of product iterations to deliver the highest output of quality product, again based on reviews, based on analysis, etc. The fourth section, this is the most complex section, was the advertising strategy. I can do an entire 30-hour-minute video right on this. We used to spend hours and hours a day analyzing as we went through this journey. The biggest thing was obviously segregating. So I made an entire video on 10 ad strategies. Also, I'll also attach it and put in the description. And we obviously implemented all of those. But one of the biggest things in this case, was obviously segregating the data, seeing which keywords we're going to lose on initially, but that we really wanted to. We knew that was good. So, for example, when the certain, let's say the no salt that I'm going to use from before, we knew that we were going to win that bid very, very cheap. And we got it really good. And there was a lot of search volume, SV or SVR, whatever, for that keyword, so we made sure we won that one, right? And then we went for long tail, cheaper keywords. As our reviews and social proof got better, we started competing with the bigger and bigger guys. And that's one of the many tips is compete on your niche on the specific market. But as your rating is better, and more importantly, you have more reviews, you can start shooting up to the bigger guys. You can start at the, eventually we're going after Liquid IV. We're going all those big competitors because we also wanted to eat their market share. And we could, because when we started, obviously, we maybe had 150 reviews, etc. But then when we started getting to thousands and thousands of reviews, we started getting in the big leagues. Yes, Liquid IV probably has hundreds of thousands, but still, at least it's somewhat in the thousand range that you can start shooting after them. So that's one of the big things that we, in this specific case, that was very relevant. Other stuff was doubling down on a main keyword. If you're going for exact, don't go for like 10 single keyword campaigns. Rather focus on the one that you really, really want to win, and make sure your copy and SEO all aligns with that. So let's say, for example, in the no salt case, we made sure that was in our images, that was in our title, and that was in the PPC bid, right? We got that one. Let's say another one was tastes great, right? Then we had another one where someone's drinking a video optimizing UGC, how good it tastes. And then we make the taste on that, so we win that bid. Then we change, then we, let's say we go to another bid, great for workouts, right? So then we put someone in the in the pictures, we put someone, because we already we stabilized on the, let's say, tastes great. Now we want to stabilize in the gym, workout, electrolyte, whatever. So then we put that in the copy, the images, we put that in the title, we put that in the bullet points, and we also run a PPC campaign for it. And then we win that one, we rank for that keyword group, right? Or great tasting for workout, whatever. So now we have 3 or 4 keywords that we're ranking and winning on. So we move on to the next one, and then to the next one. And that's how we kept on adding keywords that we were winning on. This is something that we like to do with a lot of products, and it worked really well here. The fifth thing was an insane focus on LTV, lifetime value, customer lifetime value. This was a consumable product. We know that the CAC was going to be insane, cost of acquisition. The CPC for supplements are insanely expensive. So we wanted to squeeze that so we get the customer the first time. We don't have to continuously pay for them. And the way that we did this was we set up obviously SNS coupons at the very least, but then we're testing the SNS coupons for that customer audience. So we tested a 5%. What was the CAC to LTV ratio on that one? We tested a 10% CAC to LTV ratio on that one. We tested a 20%. What was the CAC to LTV on that one? We tested 30%. What was the CAC to LTV on that one? And then we found that the most efficient ratio was 20% subscribe and save on the first one. This is other than the reorder. We obviously had a reorder, which was 10% on the reorder, but then this was initial subscriber coupon. We found 20% was the most efficient. That's where our ratio was the highest. But actually, what we did later was he tested that as a dollar amount. So this was approximately, let's say, a $40 item. So 20% of $40 was $8, right? So instead, we said, let's try $8 as the actual amount. So we put $8 as the coupon, and actually it was more efficient than 20%. Maybe it was easier for the customer audience. And that's what we always do, is we're testing various coupons, whether it's percentage or dollar amount, to see what brings us the most efficient CAC to LTV. And it's one of the secret things. And then that's what really compounded the snowball. Those are free sales. You pay them the first time. We knew the product was good. They got it. They loved it. They stayed on the subscription plan, and they stayed loyal to us over the long term. And we grew. Initially, it had literally probably 10 to 20 subscribers. That wasn't the focus for the brand at all. This is one of the first things we turned on, was the SNS coupon. And eventually, right now, I think it's at 4,000 subscribers for this product. And it's been one of the most fruitful things, because that's repeatable revenue that we never have to pay ads on, that we can use to fund other things.